I want to ask you something, and I want you to really think about it before you answer. What are you actually afraid of in retirement? And for most people, the first answer is the stock market, a big crash, watching accounts drop, seeing years of your savings just suddenly feel smaller. And listen, I understand that fear. When you've worked 30 or 40 years building something, of course, the thought of losing it feels scary. And I'm not going to dismiss that, but after more than 20 years of sitting across the table from retirees and people getting really close to retirement, I've noticed something. The thing that quietly creates the most problems usually isn't the stock market, it's time. Just living longer than the plan was built for. Not some dramatic event, not a financial disaster, not a giant mistake, but the calendar that just kept turning. And the money wasn't designed to keep up. And here's what makes this hard. Longevity sounds like a blessing, and in many ways it is. But financially, it changes everything. Because when people retired 30 or 40 years ago, retirement looked different. People often didn't spend 25 or 30 years in retirement. Today, that's not unusual. And that means your money has a much bigger job to do than most people realize. So here's something worth maybe thinking about. A healthy 65-year-old couple today, statistically, there's a very real chance one of them lives to 90. 90. And honestly, for some people listening, it may even be longer. That's 25 years, sometimes 30, of retirement income needing to show up every single month. And without a paycheck? So think about how much life happens in 25 years. Grandkids grow up, cars get replaced, roofs wear out, healthcare changes. Sometimes life throws curveballs nobody saw coming. And every single one of those moments has a financial component that's attached to it. And that's why retirement planning can't just be about, do we have enough money today? It has to answer, will this still work 20 years from now? Because the truth is, longevity changes the math. And here's where I think people get caught off guard. Most people don't actually picture themselves at 85. At 65, you still feel young, you're active, travel sounds exciting, you're planning projects around the house, maybe helping the grandkids. Nobody is really sitting there saying, what happens if I'm still here at 90 and inflation has doubled the cost of life? But these are the conversations that matter because running short late in retirement doesn't usually happen all at once. You don't wake up one morning and suddenly have no money. It sneaks up. Everything feels okay at 72, still okay at 78. And then somewhere in your 80s, when life may already feel harder physically, suddenly there's stress. And the difficult part, there's usually the season of life when people least want financial stress. You don't want to be worrying about account balances when you're trying to focus on your health or a spouse or grandkids. And by then, choices are often narrower than they would have been years earlier. And that's why I always say the best time to fix problems is before they become emergencies. Not because we're fear based, but because options matter. The earlier we plan, the more flexibility people usually had. A retirement income plan answers the questions, how does this actually work for the rest of my life? What happens if inflation stays high? What happens if markets struggle? And what happens if one spouse passes before the other? You need real answers. And that's what we're here for. So I want us to talk about a discovery call. This is complimentary. It's something that is my gift to you. There's no cost, there's no obligation. It's simply a time for us to discuss, how are you doing? How do things look? Are there red flags? Are there things that we need to do and to address so that you can truly retire financially fit? I want you to give me a call, 800-883-1518, and ask for your complimentary discovery call. Again, 800-883-1518.